Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we are having the Jack Daniel's Bonded Rye. And it's the replacement of the normal Jack Daniel's Rye. But it is called bonded, so it has to be made in one distilling season with one distillery, which obviously Jack Daniel's, and you have to have bottled in bond as a bonded warehouse. That has more regulatory impact, and yeah, so it has a lot of regulatory impact, but I think I would imagine that Jack Daniel's already had all these things in place. Maybe they had to do a bit of paperwork, like a ton of paperwork, and then they could all classify what they already had onto the the bonded. And yeah, so it is 50% ABV, and they do actually give the mash bill out, so it's 70% rye, 18% corn, and the rest is malted barley. And I need a bit of help here. Come on, this is bottled very tightly, I would say. Come on again. Now there you go. So there you go. And classical Jack Daniel's square-shaped bottle. Do you know why they're square-shaped? Because you can fit more into one cardboard box, make the cardboard box smaller, or case. I think maybe they had wooden boxes back in the days, and have more wooden boxes on the same container or on the same train as it was back in the days when Jack Daniel's came up with the square bottle. So yeah, less air in the cases, more whiskey, and that was his idea of pinching the penny, because Jack Daniel's was really a penny pincher. He was a greedy man, and he was as they said, an aggressive man, and he died of that because he had a safe, and that safe was really old and stuck, and it stuck quite regularly, and he was so mad he kicked it, and then he actually damaged his toe, got infected, and died of it. Yeah, that was the 1800s. You died of infection, which is strange, because I would have thought, like, back in the days, if you'd have an infection, you'd have already enough disinfectant with the 50%. I mean, obviously he had enough disinfectant, but I'm not a medicine. I didn't study medicine, so I can't say anything about it. Probably you have the infection within your blood, and blood infection is then really, really toxic. So talking enough about that, and let's talk about the rye. It's a beautiful rye. It has that rye feeling to it, and strangely enough, it has that mild touch to it as well. It has a bit of the. It's very, very odd to have a spiciness and that roundness that you have of a Tennessee whiskey. You know, the charcoal mellowing process of the Tennessee whiskey that makes the Jack Daniel's what it is. Where you filter the whiskey after you've distilled it, or the spirit you've distilled it, you filter it to charcoal and take out the smaller and more window cleaner tastes out of it. So it's really round and spicy, very strange to it. Oh, strange enough, the first what hit me was a little bit of sweetness, and then here comes the spiciness to it. So you had a bit of oak and a bit of corn in it, so that sweetness of the caramel sugar of the burnt wood, and then you have that 70% rye spiciness. It is one of these fresher ryes. I like that. I have that spiciness as in different kind of baking spices, I would say. a bit of allspice, bit of smidge of pepper, maybe one of these white or brown or red pepper. No, not red peppers. I like the red pepper balls, not the red peppers as in chili. And combined with that bit of a freshness of a pine, that is always my impression of a rye whiskey. I like it. No, it's a good one. Although, as far as I remember, it is not that far away from the normal rye that we tried. So I would even say it's probably the same thing. So yeah, it is. It is probably the same rye as we had in the normal Jack Daniel's rye. So yeah, that was it with my review of the Jack Daniel's bonded rye. Have a look in the Whisky.com shop if you live in the Netherlands. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.